Let's get it. Bit of a shambles because I didn't have my race number. I had to go rush into the start. Literally came out the toilet and the gun had went. So plan is now head out nice and slow. Probably going to average around 10-minute miles to start building to the first marathon. 5k in now and I'm still managing to hold the pace, which has been hard so far. Really struggling to hold myself back to under 10-minute miles. The legs wanting to go a little bit quicker, but hopefully I can maintain this now and then go a little bit quicker in the second half. 10k in, sticking to plan. First 10k done under an hour, which was the plan. Finding it hard to keep at a pace that's under an hour. Just wanting to stay with the people in front of me, which takes me into a pace that's too quick. So remaining disciplined. 10k in, 9 to go. Second half of the race, hopefully legs will hold out to pick up that pace again. Second 10k done, 8 more to go. Still within the time. Another 10k under an hour, 8 more to go. Just took 5 minutes out at the aid stations. Actually loads of food in there. Quite surprised at the variety they had. So well done Race to King and Threshold Events, because that was really surprising. Managed to get some decent food in me. Got some more water, restocked the flasks as well. So ready to go probably to at least the next aid station. We'll probably stop, maybe have a coffee, we'll see. Starting to hurt a little bit now. 30k in, or just coming up to 30k. 40k in, really starting to feel it now. Wind is fucking brutal, downhills are brutal, going up is even worse. So in the hurt locker now and still 60k to go. I'm into unknown territory now, so I'm 27 miles in, I've never been this far on a run, and I must say I'm in a world of pain already, and I have been probably the last 10k. So coming up to the halfway point and really suffering. So as you can see, I'm not in the race giving this update, so I decided after sitting down at the 50k point that I was going to call it a day and end the race there, mainly because I felt I would do more injury had I gone any further on. I also would have had to walk the rest of the race, which would have meant a very slow, painful 50k. And ultimately, I wouldn't be able to say that I ran an ultra marathon, and would have probably spent the best part of 8 hours on the second 50k just trying to get around. So decided to end it there. Still a little bit happy I got the 50k done, even though I had to walk the last 10k. What was frustrating was I was going so well up to 40k. And what's even more frustrating is at that pace, I really felt that I could run all day. So had it not been for the injury, which I'm only can assume that it is an injury because the pain level forced me to stop. And normally I'm used to running with niggles, and you can outrun those or at least manage it whilst running. So it must have been a bit more. I am in a lot of pain still today. Not so much in my knee, weirdly, but my hips are still burning. My feet feel like I've got plantar fasciitis again. So it was probably definitely the right decision to make. Although my ego is massively bruised from it, there wasn't a part of me that didn't think I could not do 100k, even with the lack of training leading up into it. And I think if I look back now in hindsight, you know what, running an ultra marathon so soon after the London Marathon, especially in the build up to London Marathon where I was going for that sub 3, it was a lot of training in terms of volume, speed, intensity, and then to run the London Marathon in 3:06, which wasn't the sub 3 that I went for, but I couldn't have asked for any more on the day. It was a lot on the body, which then meant going into this race, fatigue levels were high. My body was probably just really hammered from all the training, but then toppled with the race. And then actually the lead up to it, I didn't do a great deal of volume. The biggest amount of training that I did from London up until this race was 30 miles in a week, which was nowhere near enough volume. So I think my body hadn't fully recovered, plus then the lack of training. It could have been a combination of both. I don't know, but anyway, I need to recover now, and I will be coming back to do another 50k in October, hopefully get a London Marathon place because I still want that sub 3, and then it's going to be
revenge at Race to the King next year. And hopefully next year the weather is different, because it was pretty horrible out there yesterday with the wind and rain. And hopefully next year brings better conditions. But the overall race itself was brilliant. Threshold events, first one I've ever done with them. The aid stations were perfect. The only slight issue I had was the fact that my race pack never arrived. I then had to pick it up on race day, and I literally was there putting my race number on a minute before the gun went for the start of my wave. So I went from there pretty much getting my number on straight out the gates. So I hadn't done a warm up and everything. I could have waited for another wave, which I didn't realize until after the race when my wife told me. But anyway, you live and learn. Still a great event, and I'd recommend it to anyone.